What's up, YouTube? Happy Saturday, CHF here. I am not doing any coaching today. As I talked about yesterday, have something big going on with the live stream tonight where we are going to be filling up a new subscriber/feeder league for Systematic Front. So the future coaching episodes, I can really diversify my play calling, kind of unconstrained by some of the things that we do in Systematic Front. This way I can bring a lot more of the playbook to you. But I wanted to go through and give you guys my thoughts on Most Feared. So I'm going to stick to, there's a lot of other guys who have already given you kind of breakdowns of everything. Since I am a gameplay guy, I want to give you my take on the players and the programs and how I'm going to approach it. As you know, I'm free to play, so basically I will just be picking up the 3 coin packs that are available every single day. But I'm going to go through and tell you kind of who I'm going to work towards in each of the different branches and go from there. So when we start here at the Midway Monster, guys, we've got basically 3 performers. We've got Zach Ertz, who overall, at 82 speed, 91 catch. He's got good catch. He gives catch to everybody else. But I've already got a good tight end, and he's probably just not the one I'm going to go with here. Dak, we're getting the league versus league Dak. As well as other things. So, I mean, if you really like him, his stats are not bad, but I'm sure he's going to be pretty expensive to train up. The one that I personally would go with here in the Midway Monster games is actually going to be Jarvis Landry. So, and the reason for that is he's got a base 90 speed, a base 89 catch, and solid awareness. He's not the strongest, but he's got solid carry. But that combination of speed and catch out the get-go, from the get-go, makes him my favorite in that particular set. Moving on to the Nightmare players, and the way these work is, again, you just build up golds to create elites, then you use elites to create these performers. So when I look here at Melvin Ingram, the defensive end, he fits kind of the move. He's kind of actually, he kind of baffles me a little bit because he's not that fast, but he's got higher finesse moves, which is normally what you would want to see on someone who's running an end in a 4-3. But normally the slower guy, you want more speed coming off the edge. So since I just got Cam Jordan, I'm going to pass on him. I personally just don't like his combination. If he was a little bit faster, I would probably like him as a pure 4-3 end. But at 75 base speed, that's 10 behind where Cam Jordan is. And just not what I'm really looking for in an end. When I look here at Le'Veon Bell, I just picked up Team of the Week Fournette. He's definitely not a bad choice, but at the same time, not my favorite. Who I actually like here in the Nightmare Carousel is Kyle, the fullback. I'm not even going to try his last name because I butchered it last year. So what I like about him is he's got solid blocking stats, which is important, high awareness, which is going to help on those blocks, decent speed, and decent carry. I've been using Olawale at fullback, but if I am going to get somebody from the Nightmare Carousel, as far as the performers, it's definitely going to be Kyle, for me personally. And then here we look at the third set, which is the Dread Zone players. And I am going to start here, and I am probably personally going to do this just as a gimmick. I just like the idea of it, mainly because I don't really want a tight end or a halfback. He's probably not the best option here. But the idea of having a defensive lineman as a quarterback is just humorous to me. So as I work through the Dread Zone, I personally will probably choose Dontari Poe. I don't know if I will ever use him other than a gimmick, but having like a 300-something pound quarterback is just humorous to me. As you can see, he's slow as can be, but his strength is high. His awareness and honestly his throwing power, throwing accuracy is really quite impressive for a defensive lineman. But that's who I'm going to go with. Landon Collins is actually not a bad choice as well. It's just his stats are not great. He's got good carry. He's just not that fast, so you'd have to put a ton of training points into him. As far as the actual best pick, if I didn't already think that, tight ends are already, giving plenty of good options in the game, J.J. Watt is probably the best of these 3. At 84 speed, but he's also a defensive end / linebacker, depending where they run him. But he's a pass rusher. But he's a big, tall guy. He's got great jumping for that position. I guess that's relative. It's actually not that great compared to some other ones, which there's a video of him on YouTube doing like a box jump, which makes me think that they actually kind of lowballed his jump stats. But overall, not a bad pick. And then finally, guys, we've got 2 new defensive units here. So the defensive unit, the most feared one, this one is pretty basic. It just gives 4% to run, 3% to short and long. So it's a decent one if you're not worried about countering play action. And then there's the Monsters of the Midway, which requires 2 elite from each of the 3 different fields. The Midway Monster, the Elite Nightmare, and the Elite Dread Zone. And that's going to give you a 5% run counter and then a 100% hard counter on Strong Eye Halfback Blast and Weak Eye Halfback Gut. Those are actually very popular plays for kind of the casual community who does a lot of running. They're not really used all that much up at the top. But if you're just playing head-to-head, especially in the lower ranges, it's not a bad defensive unit, and it's actually pretty cheap compared to how the last ones have been. If you're going for the Masters and you're building up these the elite guys from there, not an awful choice. So guys, what I'm going to do next is we're going to hop into the actual most feared and talk a little bit about kind of the structure of it. So basically the way it works is Dread Zone, you start out every day with a maze. The goal is to basically go through from the entrance to the exit. You will hit dead ends. If you see it's a dead end, don't play it because you don't get anything until you make it all the way through the maze. So you want to try and find the fastest path through the maze to finish that one, and then you get the Dread Zone Blitz event. For the Midway Monsters, you basically get these 3 different ones. You've got Hot Potatoes, Scary Good Defense, Hit the Target. Each one of those is going to have 3 live events in there where you kind of get the first time bonus, and then you've got the Carousel over here, which is the Nightmare set, which builds tokens, and then every once in a while you get this kind of the Jackpot in the middle, which will give you the kind of the pieces that the token builds up to be. And then once you unlock one of the performers in each of those, it'll basically unlock either Ware, Gronk, or Walker. So what we're going to do here, guys, is take a look at the rewards to trade in the elites to come up with those. And I'm going to focus here. So we've already talked about the guys below. As you can see, there's basically baseline elites there that you can trade in for things. But I'm going to look at kind of all of the masters, so to speak, or ringleaders, I guess is what they're calling them. And I'm going to give you my thoughts on who I'm personally going to go for. And in this case, I'm actually, I actually like 2 of them. All right, so I like DeMarcus Ware at the linebacker spot. So we look at him, and he's basically got 3 levels. So we're going to start here with DeMarcus Ware at the 91. It gives no boosts, but as a linebacker, he's really quite solid. I mean, we see 87 speed. He's got 93 zone coverage, which my team tends to play a lot of zone. He's got high awareness, high tackle, good pursuit, good acceleration, and he only gets better. So the way it works is once you kind of unlock one of those, you kind of get the first level, and then you keep building within the performers, and you can get them up from a 91 to a 92, where he tacks on a little bit more speed and just generally gets a better boost in his stats, as well as giving +1 hit power. And then finally, the 93 overall, where he's got 91 base speed, 96 tackle, 95 zone, 88 pursuit. I think that that's a solid player, and definitely one to go after. Honestly, with with Herschel Walker, we will look at him, but I'm not all that impressed by him. I don't know. Maybe it's just because there's a lot of halfback options, and I'm not a huge runner. He's definitely not a bad choice with 88 speed, 89 carry, 74 catch, decently strong. And, like anything else, he definitely does get better. He starts to add 1 strength, goes up to 89 speed on kind of that second tier one, 90 carry. And then finally at the 93 overall, 91 speed, 91 carry, 82 catch. 88 awareness. So he definitely does become a good player and gives +2 strength. But the other one, if I had to choose, I personally would choose Ware and Gronk. Gronk is a safety, and the way this one starts, even though he was a tight end, I do like these most feared where they kind of put players in crazy positions. I just like those. So personally, I like Gronk because he's got great speed, even at the 91 overall, at 90 speed, plus you're going to be able to boost him up. High awareness, decent tackle considering he's a tight end, and zone coverage. So safeties tend to be in zone coverage more than they are in man coverage. So I tend to like them to have higher zone coverage. I would like to see his man a little bit higher, but as you can see, he does get better and starts giving pursuit. So his tier 2, he's up to 91 speed, 87 zone. He's got decent play recognition. And then finally at the top, he's got 93 speed, great acceleration, 88 awareness, higher zone. His man coverage is still a little low, but I'm sure that if you boost him and put some training points into him, he does become pretty solid. So those are my takes on the players, guys. So I hope you like this and kind of give my breakdown. So I told you who I'm going for. If I had to kind of rate them all, I would say the one guy that I would probably go for the most here, I personally would probably take DeMarcus Ware first, Gronk second, Herschel Walker third. I'm still curious to see how far I'm going to be able to take this as a free-to-play player, only buying those daily packs. I don't want to kind of blow all my coins in the auction house trying to build these guys, because they're really, I mean, they're higher overalls, but it's still pretty minor of an increase over the color rush. There's still a lot to come. I usually do most of my team building around the Christmas time, so Ultimate Freeze. That's been kind of when I really go heavy into building my squad. I like Most Feared, don't get me wrong. It's a fun time of year. I like the theme players that they do where you've got offensive guys playing defense and defensive guys playing offense. But those are my take, guys. So overall, I'm enjoying the promo. I'm definitely grinding. I'm curious to see exactly how well I can do just grinding and not buying anything other than those daily packs. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you think of the players. Let me know who you're going after. I think we're probably going to be getting more players coming in as this promo goes on. And of course, now that I'm doing that within the channel, I will bring you guys new reviews of all new players that come into the game when I can. So if you like this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you are new to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. What you can expect starting again tomorrow is daily LVL content where I'm walking you through what I'm doing and why. I'm going to bring a whole new play style that you have not seen on the channel now that I am able to kind of run this feeder league for Systematic Front, but also be a subscriber league. It gives me the ability to vary my play calling and do things that you guys want to see, so I can show you all kinds of plays and strategies that I can't really show you from the main, as well as give you guys an opportunity to kind of come in, learn with me, grow, learn how top leagues work with a lot less pressure. I think what we're going to do is target, a much lower requirement than what you would see in Systematic Front. We do have to have something there because we are going to try and be at least somewhat competitive, and I want to give you guys a realistic taste. So we'll probably start with a requirement to maintain a 16-point 10-day average. So, I mean, that's really not a huge target, guys. If you've been watching my channel and implementing the things I teach on a daily basis, that should be a pretty easy target for you guys. To put it in perspective, in Systematic Front, we're all like well over 20. So that's going to be the target, guys. But in the short term, everybody's going to be able to come in. I've got a Slack chat that will be set up for anyone who wants to join, where I will teach you guys kind of how top leagues communicate and operate, and go from there. And then we will all just work together. You guys who join the league will be able to communicate with me kind of live. This will be the league that I'm putting a lot of my main focus on. As you can see, my main is in the league. But anyways, guys, if you want to see what I drop, when I drop it, hit the bell icon to join the notification squad. My live stream will be tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern time. What we are going to do, since it's another noob tournament, I'm not going to do a tournament stream. We are just going to bring subscribers in, chat, hang out, see if we can fill up this league. If we fill it up in the stream, we will go ahead and kick off the LVL, and I will do the LVL vlog live during the stream. If not, we will kick it off after, but I will get everybody gathered in. We'll go over everything. We'll talk about your goals, whether you just want to come hang out and be in a league with me as a subscriber league, or if you do want to join Systematic Front, we can talk about what that path looks like. But I love you guys. You are the best audience ever. I hope to see you in the live stream tonight. CHF out.